Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how I use the Corrosive team versus the new Gunsmoke boss Nemertea. As you can see, I have a preset loadout with Klukai, Mekti, Nemertea, and Ksenia. My Klukai and my Nemertea are both V6, and I'm going to pick Kirsch's Macchiato for my support. I'm going to use the buff Chain Acid Swamp. Alright, let's get my units where I want them. Alright, we're going to start with Mekti. I'm going to put her here, use her ultimate. And I'm going to take Ksenia, put her here, and have her use her skill 2 on Nemertea for heat recovery and blazing assault 2. And I'm going to have Klukai use her ultimate for defense down 2. Use her ultimate again. I'm going to put Klukai right behind Mekti. I'll put it right here. Have her use her ultimate. I'm going to have Macchiato right here. Have her use her ultimate. So she's got the expansion key. She gets extra command, and then I'll have her use her skill 1. Now the boss is going to use, on the first skill, it's going to be an AoE knockback attack. And it's going to use, after that it's going to use an AoE debuff twice on my units. Let's go ahead and here's the AoE knockback, and here comes the AoE debuff. Alright, so the AoE debuff is called Digestive Saliva. It's a debuff where damage taken is increased by 20%. Stack will last for 2 turns. However, if it's cleansed, all ally units gain 1 stack of Saliva Dip for 2 turns. Saliva Dip is a buff where attacks ignore 5% of the target's defense per stack. And there's no limit to how many stacks you can have. It does have a 2-turn duration, however, if you can keep cleansing it, you should be able to keep it up the entire fight. So I'm going to have Ksenia move up 1, and then use her skill 2 on Macchiato to cleanse her of the 2 stacks of her debuff. And herself as well. The reason why is because she has the keys Friendship, applying a burn buff, additionally cleanses 1 debuff, and which will benefit when using Comprehensive Rescue, which is her skill 2. User gains the same buffs. I'll move Mekti up 1, use her skill 2. Then her basic attack, so I can gain an extra point of Fitness Index, and it also, I have her signature weapon, which additionally ignores 20% of the target's defense when using basic attacks. Alright, then I'll use Klukai's ultimate. Use her ultimate again. Alright, so what's important to mention is your units, you want to have 3 or more buffs at them all the time, because if you do, when that unit attacks, the boss gains a stack of relaxation, and at the start of its action it converts all stacks of relaxation into stacks of fragile membrane, which is a debuff where damage taken is increased by 2% per stack, stacking up to 15 times for a max of 30% increased damage taken on the boss. Alright, so where did I leave off here? Alright. And Nemertea, I have her key here, automatic repair program. If she doesn't move during the turn, before she attacks, it cleanses 2 debuffs. So she'll cleanse it herself if I attack, since I didn't move her. And then I'll just have Nemertea use her skill 1. That AoE it just did works like the Digraph Gunsmoke boss, where it gets a defense debuff on itself. You see defense is reduced by 20%, stacking up to 3 times. The way that works is for every 3 targets hit is a stack of this defense down of 20%. However, with all the buffs and debuffs you're getting for the boss, you won't need more than just the 1 stack. So there's no need to use Papa Shaw, for instance, for that extra 50% defense down. Okay, so we'll start with Ksenia, and we are going to heal Klukai for the Blazing Assault 2 buff. Then we're going to have Nemertea use her skill 2 and her basic attack on the boss. Okay, Klukai, just to make sure of something. Okay. You always want to keep an eye on your duration turns on the Slap a Dip one, because if you see one and you can't cleanse that debuff, then it's gonna run out of time and you're gonna have to start over on that unit. So I'm gonna move Klukai over here and use her ultimate so I can take out the ad on top of the boss, which if you kill the ad, you get a 10% increase of attack buff on all units. So you want to take out that ad as soon as possible to take advantage of that 10% attack increase. Alright, I'll move her over 1. That way I can ultimate back and put her right back behind Nemertea. And as you can see, using her ultimate, I'm ignoring 120% of the boss's defense. So right there it show you don't need Papa Shaw's 50% damage defense down, because you can't ignore more than 100%. This is kind of overkill. So there's no need to use Papa Shaw. And her turn. I thought you use her ultimates. And Nemertea uses her skill 1. And there's that AoE debuff. He uses it on every odd number turn, by the way. Alright, so I'm going to heal Macchiato to cleanse the debuff. Then I'll have Mekti use her skill 2. And then use her basic attack. 115% defense ignored. Then I'll have Klukai, ultimate. And I'll have Klukai ultimate again. End her turn. Have Pretya use her ultimate, which will cleanse the 2 stacks of that debuff. Then have Macchiato use her skill 1. Alright. So I'm going to have Ksenia heal Klukai, giving her Blazing Assault 2. Then have Mekti use her skill 2. Cleanses her oh, nope, I lied. Let's go back one. We're gonna... This is turn 5. I use her skill 1 for more damage. And I'm already ignoring more than 100%, so I don't need to use basic attack to ignore enough to be able to ignore more defense, because I'm already going over 100%. Alright, then I'll have Klukai come over here and ultimate, so we can take out the ad as well as the boss. Hit the boss as well. I'll move Klukai over and have her ultimate again and end behind Mekti. And I also forgot to mention, when the boss is in stability break and uses this skill, instead of doing an AoE knockback on all your units, when in stability break he only targets the furthest and the closest units and knocks them back 1 tile. And as long as there's something or someone behind them, they won't be knocked back. You can see Ksenia is the closest, and she's got Mekti behind her. And Macchiato is the farthest, but she's got the structure behind her, so they won't be knocked back. Okay, so now I'm going to use Pretya's ultimate. And then Macchiato is going to use her ultimate. Again, since she's got the expansion key, her expansion key I should say, she gets extra command, and I'll use her skill 1. Alright. Gonna use Ksenia's heal on Macchiato. Cleanse the debuff. And I'll have Mekti use her ultimate. And have Klukai use her ultimate. Use her ultimate again. her turn. You use her ultimate. I'll cleanse the 2 stacks of the debuff. And then we're going to have Macchiato use her skill 1. Alright. I'm going to have Ksenia heal Klukai for the Blazing Assault 2. Mekti's going to use her skill 2. And then her basic attack on the boss. And I'm going to have Klukai move over here so she can ultimate and hit the boss and the ad. Taking out the ad to get the extra 10% attack. Klukai over 1, have her ultimate again. End her turn. Put out use her ultimate. And then have Macchiato use her skill 1. And the boss is dead. Oh wow, look at all those cheats. So, that's how I used the Corrosive team on the new boss, Nemertea. And I actually managed to kill it on top of that, so the highest you can get is 5522. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps you out. Bye.